Okay, I gotta go make another drink.
We were starting the podcast.
Well, I just drank this whole freaking drink. This is 4 ounces of straight liquor.
Oh,
okay,
no.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop the recording so you can make a new drink.
Okay.
Jesus,
That's
maybe
unprofessional.
Zach,
BRB.
maybe make a couple so you don't have to get up again.
What's that movie? Sit ahead. Don't ask her like she'll say, I haven't seen it.
Okay. So we meet Mathis, and Mathis is like, the Shifra has the chief of police like under his payroll. So I decided to provide the deputy with evidence that he was being bribed and blah, blah,
And
blah.
immediately you see police cars come in and like just arrest the chief of police.
Who is at a restaurant behind them, and they are meeting outdoors. Just to establish that Mathis can get
With
anything
champagne
done, basically.
cocktails, which I can do.
Ooh,
Hold on.
nice.
No.
No.
Don't.
Okay.
So we just established that Mathis is like their go-to guy to get anything. He can like get rid of bodies. He can get people arrested. He can get shit done.
He's this
Sure.
old Italian guy and he's great.
Yeah, he's the fixer.
Oh, cool.
He's a fixer. He's the wolf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway,
He is.
I get that.
Yeah. No, totally.
I get that reference.
So we go back to the hotel room. Vesper's getting ready because they're all about to go down to the big game, the big poker game. And
Big old poker game.
James Bond walks in with a dress.
Hello there.
With a dress, and he's like, I need you to wear this. And he's like, oh yes. And it's like, I need you to walk in. I need you looking fabulous when you walk in and kiss me on the neck so that all the players are focused on your
Neckline instead of their cards,
Yeah.
baby.
Sure.
which is taken from Horse Girl walking in and kissing Demetrios on the neck
Horse
because
Girl.
we noticed James Bond looks at her. Yeah, because
Right.
that happens. So
Horse
he's like,
Girl?
We
"Ooh,
all
I
went to
need-
school with
You're
a
gonna
horse
call her
girl.
Horse Girl?
Yeah, Horse Girl.
Did you guys have horse girls in your elementary school?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
at my
Probably.
high
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
There's one in every high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Erica.
But then he walks out. So after that little talk, she's like getting her makeup ready. He walks out of their washroom and he sees, and the music swells and it's like suspenseful music, and it's like something's happening. He sees something, it's disturbing, and the music is like tense, and then the camera pans and it's like a suitcase, it's a suit in a suit bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it cuts to him going back into the washroom with a suit, and he's like, "What is this?" And she's like, "I need you looking at your best, and I won't have anything less." And he's like, he looks at it, he's like, "This is tailored." And she's like, "I sized you up the moment I met you." And he's like,
You mixed it up. He
Why
walks
is
in and
he
goes
so
like,
upset that
I
he
already
needs to wear
have
a
a dinner
suit?
jacket.
Oh.
"Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah."
he's like, I
There are
already have a dinner
jackets.
jacket. And she goes,
And there are
yeah,
dinner
there are
jackets.
dinner jackets.
This
and there
is the latter.
Yeah.
I need you looking your best.
And then he's upset because it's tailored and he doesn't know how she got his measurements because she pulled one over James Bond. No one pulls one over James Bond.
Okay.
And then it cuts to him in the suit, and it like the James Bond, the like classic
swells,
James Bond
yeah.
themes starts coming in as he's got the bow tie, he's got the suit, he's got the white shirt. Yeah, do it.
It's not that theme, but it's a
It's similar. It's similar.
And
And it shows him like adjusting his bow tie and looking in the mirror and looking suave.
Yeah.
And she's she's watching him as she's doing this, and she's like, "Boys," and she
Sure.
And
leaves.
then this is when high school me got psyched and I want to put on my suit and play poker
right?
and parkour
And just
and
walk
shoot
around.
people
And this is
and have
where
horse girls. Okay.
so him going into
wanted
Montenegro.
to-
This is where the book begins.
Okay, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
So they walk into the hotel and there's obviously not a secret, but like a private side room. They walk in and there's this big room with a big poker table, and you see all the players. And there's like, what is there? There's a dude, another dude,
There's a
some
dude,
other
there's another dude,
dudes.
there's three
Yeah,
Big
there's lots of dudes.
They're from
Like
all over the
many
world, many
dudes.
races.
Sure.
Jeffrey Wright,
But all
from,
dudes.
All dudes.
Yeah.
There is
Many
an
races,
Asian
but only
woman
one
there who we
sex.
saw earlier Yeah. There was
So
an Asian woman there
diverse.
who we saw earlier playing poker with Le Chiffre on his boat.
Is she
So
there
it's kinda-
as well?
Yeah,
you
she
know,
is
mostly
there.
dudes.
Mostly dude.
Oh, dudes. It's a bro down.
One of those, yes.
Some
one of-
guys having fun. It's like a man cave.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
There's
basically-
like posters on the wall.
Yeah.
There's like doors, posters on the
Yeah. And
walls.
Vesper
Yeah, there's
and
a lot
Mathis
of-
are there as well.
They put on Die Hard, and one of
Yeah.
them is like, Die Hard is actually a Christmas movie.
That is a Christmas movie.
And then
And every one of them says, "Yo, true, yo, true."
true.
And
True,
then
true,
they all
true.
knuckle bump, and then they explode the knuckle bumps, and they're like,
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
So as Ryan pointed out, one of those people is Jeffrey Wright, the actor Jeffrey Wright, who plays. We won't reveal who he plays, but he plays one of the poker players.
He's one of the
right
poker
now.
players. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
American though. He's
He's American
all you need to
man.
know.
Yeah.
He's
All
a guy
American
And he's
boy.
a real like
He's a man's man.
he doesn't like
Honestly,
fruit.
though,
He doesn't like fruit.
from a performance perspective,
One at a time,
he hams
guys.
it up a little bit. He's just
mean,
like, yeah.
Everyone
brother.
loves Jeffrey Wright. I'm a little bit like,
Oh
I don't
no,
think he's
I
the
do
great
too.
actor.
I do too. I do too. But I think he's having fun.
He's a ham
having
sandwich,
fun with
yeah.
this role.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
he's just like yeah, I'm bleeding chips, brother.
yeah,
You know?
super. Anyway, the game begins. Well, first, actually, we see this with everyone's buy-in goes into an account by a Swiss bank manager because you know,
Sure.
Swiss are neutral.
Switzerland's
And
neutral.
he's played
Yeah.
by the nicest guy.
Oh, yeah, big
ever.
smile.
He's
My
just the
favorite
most
character in the movie.
wholesome. Like I'm gonna call him Hans because he just
He
seems
probably
like
is Hans. I don't know.
he probably
He says
like,
Auf Wiedersehen very cutely
Wiedersehen.
later in the movie.
And
and
he's
he's
a fun
he's
guy.
always happy. He's
Yeah.
always cheerful.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just the best guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all have to
play poker.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
have to basically go up and put in all the funds, all their buy-ins have been deposited into the bank, but all the players have to individually input a secret password, so
For
that
their money?
whenever the winner wins, the winner
Okay.
wins, they'll input the password and then the funds will be transferred to the bank account of their choice. So
Okay.
Bond, because it's alphabetical, goes first, goes up and he puts in a password and he smirks, trying to think of a password, and he types it in. We don't know what
And
the password is.
he says, what do I come up with? And then we see inspiration strike him, and he says, I have an idea. And he types it in, and he types in six simple button presses.
He types it in.
Yeah.
He types it in, he taps
Although,
those buttons.
I know
this
what it
is
is.
this is just a funny. What do you think it is? Let's hear it.
Yeah, Alenka, what do you think the password is?
Yeah, I
Okay,
just
yes,
said it.
that is it.
Did you write movies for a living?
How
Alenka?
dare you?
It's
But
obvious.
wait. Fun fact:
Yes.
the code he punches in isn't the actual code
Oh,
that
that's
it
true.
is
That's right.
in Canada.
Oh.
Like later on,
Great.
like when he
Continuity.
just kind of that's just a fun little
If you
continuity
check
error.
the goofs
And
on IMDb.
speaking of continuity errors, I'm
Yes?
gonna go get another drink.
Holy.
Okay, speaking of continuity errors, upon arrival at Casino Royale, Bond receives a package with keys to a new Aston Martin. When he sits in the car, he leaves the driver's door open as he checks out the hidden compartments where the
Come
defibrillator
on,
and gun
Ryan.
are located. After he closes the last compartment, the driver's door is now closed when it was open a moment earlier, but the door is open again upon Bond's exit from the car. Goof. That's a goof.
You guys really are just trying to
Okay,
make this a 4-hour episode, eh?
They are.
That's why we got you here, Ryan.
It's all good.
Woo, baby.
So they begin the game.
Bond wins.
Some things happen. One,
Bond wins the
Vesper
game.
enters. Vesper
Yeah.
enters. Comes around, and
Kisses him.
no one
He
has their
kisses
eyes
him.
on Vesper.
Easy. Oh,
He
why not?
kisses- She kisses him.
Only Bond has his eyes on Vesper, so his plan backfired. He's the one distracted.
Right.
So she kisses him on the
Idiot.
neck, and then he's like, "Weren't you supposed to come in so everyone could see you?" And she goes, "Oh, I forgot." And then she goes back to the bar.
Uh-huh.
The other thing that happens is he orders a drink, right? Yes, he orders a drink.
Hmm. This is the
Zach,
scene from earlier.
Take it away, Zach.
He's gone. Zach is gone.
Take it away. Here we go.
Zach's
the
trying to get a drink, but
ingredients
he orders
for the Vesper.
drink. Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone, that's the scene that we kind of watched, and that's the scene where everyone's like, I like that. I'll
That
get one of
sounds
those
good.
too. Yes, me too.
So
And Jeffrey
So-
Wright is like, give me that as well. Hold the fruit.
Hold the
Sure.
fruit. This drink was literally invented in the original novel
Mm-hmm.
by Ian Fleming,
Yeah.
and that's interesting.
Very.
So
Can we all
interesting.
agree that that's interesting?
That's super
Sure.
interesting. But the main thing that happens in this scene, Alenka,
Tell me.
is Bond is trying to get Le Chiffre's tell, the tell in which he's bluffing.
Yeah.
So he thinks his tell is him
Is when
placing
his
his left
eye
hand
bleeds?
on his forehead. Yeah, well, no, yeah, you think that's his tell, but it's
You
when
think.
he places his his hand near his left eye that is the one that bleeds. So he thinks that's his tell.
Yeah.
So he goes like not all in, but he bets very highly on this hand, and Le Chiffre actually wins.
Right.
He definitely
Does he
wins.
win? Doesn't he lose the first time?
No,
To,
he wins.
confirm his tell?
He wins the hand, and Vesper is upset at Bond because obviously Vesper is in charge of the money and is like, you're throwing away all our money so quickly already. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, but I found his tell. He was bluffing. He's like, he had the best hand.
Right. He
During
won
that-
that
during that
first
play.
hand
Right.
from
But-
blind luck. Right.
Yeah, but with Texas Hold'em, he only got that hand on the last card. So when he went in on his bet, he was bluffing. So that's
I'd
how
like
he
to
figured
take
it
this
out.
opportunity to ask
Okay.
all three of you how much you guys know about poker, because I
None.
don't know a ton.
Ooh,
I have
I
the
know-
basics down. I don't Texas Hold'ems. That's like a type of poker I know,
mhm.
but I don't know how it differs from others. I'm curious. Can I become rich from doing this, and how?
Oh, you
You
can.
probably
It's on
could.
TV.
It just takes years of practice. Yeah.
Poker
If it's on
stars.
TV, you can get rich from it.
Right.
I know like a cursory amount. I know hands, and I know how to play Texas Hold'em because of this movie. Because I was so psyched to play fucking poker after
You
this
were
movie.
pacing around your home in your suit,
Yes,
In your
exactly.
tux.
googling the rules to hold them.
Yeah, in my tux.
Sweetie.
But yeah, it's poker. It's Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
But anyway, after like they've played for a while, they take a break. They're taking a short break, and Bond. One thing we forgot to mention: Le Chiffre, in this most interesting Bond villain character, also has an inhaler that he uses
Nice.
frequently.
Yes,
Love
he
it.
does.
I probably need one.
I thought that
I
would
can
play
sympathize
much
with
more
that.
of a pivotal role.
He's just a little
Yeah,
anxious.
he's just always like, yeah. It's not
But-
like a huge pivotal role, except for this moment where Le Chiffre leaves the table briefly, and Bond places a tracking chip in his.
It's like a bug. It's like a,
yeah,
it's like a
bug.
microphone, right?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
no, it's just
Sure.
a tracking chip. Or
Because he hears the scuffle
Oh, he does
that
hear it
was
too.
about to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Anyway, he places it in his inhaler, and Le Chiffre comes back for his inhaler because he realizes forgot it.
Mhm.
It's also on his own little platform like table. Like that's all he has on there is his
Inhaler.
his inhaler. It's special to him.
Sure.
So they go up.
Life saving.
They go up to back to the room, and Le Chiffre comes to the room, and his girlfriend's there, and Le Chiffre's like, "What did you need from me?" And his girlfriend is on the balcony, turns, kisses him, and says, "I'm so sorry." And then the Ugandan guys fucking take them hostage with knives and threaten to kill them. He's just like, "Where's my money?" Because
Oh
he's-
no.
he knows that this poker game is for him to win back the money that he lost. And he's threatening to kill him, and he threatens to chop off his girlfriend's arm, and he's about to do it, and then he stops, and then he turns back to Le Chiffre, and he's all like, "Not a word of protest. You need to find yourself a better boyfriend," because it's true, he's a coward. He doesn't say shit
Yeah.
when his girlfriend's about to get her arm
This is
chopped
the
off.
girlfriend with the swoop
don't hurt.
haircut from
The
earlier.
swoop hair. Yeah.
There, it's just some bangs,
Yeah.
really, guys.
Yeah, just some bangs. That's all
I
it is.
like
Just
how it's
swoop.
interpreted, though.
Meanwhile, Bond on his little again, they have like flip phones and slide phones. 'Cause,
Mhm.
it's 2000.
I did, in my my vast notes that I took for this, one of my notes was that it must have been much easier to be a spy before iPhones because nobody's cell phones had a password or touch ID or face ID.
That's true.
You
Yeah,
could just grab them and
Yes.
go.
yeah, and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's the last text on this one?"
Yeah, true.
So on his phone, he's got the tracking chip. He can see which floor Le Chiffre's on. He's going up, and he's going to basically, I don't know what he's planning to do here. Originally, was he planning to like fucking take him down now?
Maybe.
Because that's not the plan. The plan is for Le Chiffre to lose. Anyway, he goes up, and then they hear the scuffle with the Ugandan guys. And he's like, go back into the elevator, Vesper. But then the elevator closes, and he's like, the stairs. And then they get to the stairway, and then the Ugandan guys come out, but then like Bond, quickly grabs her and then starts making out with her as if to be just like a couple in the stairway.
Sure.
But then Bond had a little earpiece in, and one of the guys sees the earpiece and then throws his knife at him. And then there's a fight scene in the stairwell where he
great
kills.
stairwell fight scene.
It's
There's a
great. It's
machete involved.
Oh.
Yeah.
One guy plummets several stories to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they dead. He kills them both, and basically is just like, Vesper, like, go get Mathis, like, tell him I've hid the bodies down here. Go. And she's all fucking traumatized because,
she doesn't do this stuff.
She's an
never seen
accountant.
people
This
dead.
isn't her
Yeah.
usual
Yeah.
line of work.
No.
Yeah.
So he goes back up, and he got a fucking blood wound, and he shoots a shot of whiskey, and he like fucking patches himself up
Plastic.
somehow.
His shirt is dirty.
Yeah.
He's got a
Yeah.
dirty shirt. It's a filthy shirt. He's got to change the shirt.
And he comes back to the poker game
with a different
the
shirt on.
Chiffre's all like, Mr. Bond, you changed your shirt. I hope our evening's events haven't made you too perspire.
Such a weird thing to say.
He says
Hope
that,
you're not too
and then
schwitzy,
he's
my
like a
friend.
little,
Basically.
and then what does he say? He's like, it's a little, but then he says something clever. What does he say? I can't remember.
He says, he's like, I won't be worried unless I start bleeding from my
bleeding
eyes.
from the eye. So he's like,
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
that your eye bleeds, buddy. I know about you too, buddy.
I know your tick.
Yeah,
your
it's
little
weird.
tricks.
Your little
blood from
eye
the
bloody.
eyes.
I know about your bloody
Yeah.
eye, bud. Fun.
Exactly. So they play. Nothing major happens. The game ends for the night. They'll resume the next day. Bond comes back up. Back up. Yeah, you know what?
Zach has been gone for
Like 10 minutes.
almost 10 minutes, and he's just returning. Whatever you guys pay your guests, I would like to get a larger percentage than Zach. I'll just say that now.
What was that?
Perfect.
What was that?
Nothing. It's fine. We'll
Nothing.
continue.
You're good. You're fine.
I'm back.
Hey, buddy.
So Bond goes back up to the hotel room. Their hotel rooms, by the way, Vesper and Bond, they're like adjoined rooms. They're not in the same
we're there
room.
already?
Yeah.
And Vesper this is the scene that we talked about earlier. Vesper is in the shower, fully clothed, like traumatized.
Yes.
We talked
Right.
about
What
this?
the
in the
fuck?
shower,
She isn't
and
getting the shit done. She's
Bond-
just like, I'm gonna take a shower. Fucking.
Oh, she did.
She's an accountant.
She did.
She's
This
an-
is
He
later.
fought a bunch of guys in a stairwell.
Yeah, we know.
So
We already
it's
talked about that.
also-
So
we
don't
listen,
talk
did
about it.
that?
It's also just so stereotypical. It's like, oh, you experienced some trauma. You have to go take a fully clothed shower now.
That's very true. That is a
true.
major trope that I don't really get.
Yeah.
No,
And then
you're
Clean.
basically Bond like sees her, walks into the shower, sits down with her, and then she's automatically like putting her head on his shoulder and is like, ooh, I feel comfortable with you. And she's like,
Sure.
it's like there's blood on my hands and I can't get it off. And this is
You're
the
like-
point
Yeah.
where Bond takes her hands and goes, where? And then just starts sucking on her fingers.
What the
And he's
fuck?
like, that's better. And she's like, yeah.
She's
But
talking
my
about-
favorite, honestly, though, the one the part that stuck with me over the years, honestly, just because it's so funny. He's like, are you cold? And she was like, yes. And so he reaches up and just turns the water to hot
What
Yeah.
the
And now
in
it's
the
a hot shower.
And that, like,
But
It's courteous.
to be honest, this scene,
I mean,
this
I
scene
know,
does
but, like,
this scene does bring new meaning to the word trauma bond. Ayo.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Nice.
think I've heard
Will.
that phrase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, a trauma
Trauma
bond is when
bond.
someone
A trauma
is
bond's
bonded
definitely
to
a
someone
thing.
just through trauma, and it's very, very toxic.
But also,
Oh, I just got
Yeah,
the
because
yeah,
his
yeah.
name is Bond.
'cause his name's
Yeah,
Bond.
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
she's
Go.
been through trauma.
right,
Right,
guys.
right, right.
Well done.
But he sucks on her
Cheers.
fingers on her metaphorical blood on her hands, which is
Yeah.
This
So
is called a
fucking
Lucien
weird.
Grande.
okay. Zach has made
Thank
a new
you.
drink.
Zach is fucking
It took
hammered.
so
think you should
long.
probably
It's got
slow down on the
Campari, it's
drinks.
got dry vermouth, it's got gin.
It's got a nice
Okay.
color.
It's
got everything
Did
you
you
like.
add something to the rim of the glass as well? Is this
That's just a lemon peel.
just a
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay. So they're bonded now
Yeah.
through trauma.
Right.
And the next day, Bond like comes out to the balcony with fucking Mathis, and we see the police interrogating this guy in a parking lot. And
They're
then-
like, "What you doing? What
Yeah.
you doing? Hey, what
Yeah.
you doing on the other parking lot?" And he's like,
Sure.
I don't know. And,
Sure.
and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know, man."
that's
Say,
exactly what they say
"Yeehaw."
because we can hear every word. And Mathis pulls out his old
Very
little Nokia
weird.
phone and he dials the number and he calls the cell phone that's in the trunk of a car. They open the trunk and the two dead Ugandans are in the
Oh.
trunk. So
From
that's
earlier.
where Mathis basically
And they
frames
all
this
pull
innocent
their
man,
guns.
I guess.
Like
what
all
is this guy?
the police pull their guns
Got
on this
you.
dude, and he's like, "Looks like they can be helpful after all."
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
However, let me just say, I don't know if you guys have touched on this while I was
Probably.
making my drink.
Probably have.
The phones in this movie are truly a product of their time.
This is actually
Like, kinda did
amazing.
talk
Oh my
about
god!
that.
It's
This is
it's like
amazing.
the
We
like
covered it.
Nokias, and they're like the brick phones
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
used to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ryan
you got to
brought that
take a
up.
screenshot
We
of
did.
Ryan.
We did.
Do you have a
cover that.
screenshot of Ryan doing his?
Yeah, I have
his-
many.
We've got
I have
it.
many.
Okay, because they are
did-
fantastic. They
We
are
did
truly
cover
fantastic.
the phone thing. There's also a lot of Sony product placement. Definitely
Very much,
a lot of
very
Oh
much.
my
Sony
god,
bios,
the
a lot of
Ericsson,
Ericsson
yeah.
phones
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember back in the day wanting an Ericsson phone
because
and
of
being
James Bond.
like, "God damn!"
No,
Like,
man.
partly because of James Bond, partly because I knew like one or two people with it.
Yeah.
It was for me. It was all LG chocolates,
Yeah.
Motorola Crazers.
The
Yeah,
razors. Yeah. The
Yeah.
I had the
Razors.
Razor
Crazy.
and the Crazer, let me tell you, and I wanted an Ericsson.
I bought a
Okay.
BlackBerry off eBay.
I already spilled this on my
That
pants.
is
Blackberry
All right.
Bold, Blackberry
Great.
BlackBerry
Pearl,
Yeah.
chocolate.
chocolate,
yeah,
Chocolate
sure.
iPhone. Okay.
chocolate.
Yeah, I wasn't about that
iPhone,
Blackberry.
Black cherry, iPhone chocolate.
Although I know some guys who work at BlackBerry.
That
Still.
sucks for them. So that's
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Shout out to a different podcast. I can't remember their name.
Great.
Let's shut
Too
out
drunk.
that podcast. Anyway, so now we're continuing the poker game. The poker game's coming back on.
Oh, and can I just say the poker game starts and there's some scenes and then they're like, this has been the 4 hour
4
mark.
hours.
You'll now
Yeah,
take a break.
Fucking 4 hours
Yeah,
of like
insane.
And I
poker.
wrote, wow, 4 hour poker game. And then the next scene is like the next day.
Right.
It's a multi-day poker
It's,
tournament. I
it
don't
is multiple.
It just
Is that
seems
a
like
thing?
lot.
Yeah, and no,
Totally.
totally. Because in those like high stakes poker games, what they do is everybody buys in. So there's like $1 million prize, say. Maybe not in this case, but $1 million prize. Each person gets their stake in the game in the form of chips.
Right.
And then you keep playing until one person wins. And
All of it.
that can take, all of it.
Oh.
So like depending on the type of player you are, depending on how people are playing,
right.
that can take days, that
Yeah.
can take weeks
Exactly.
Got you.
of
Yikes.
playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I mean, if you're at a fancy place like that, they're like,
fancy.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put you up, we'll give you drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what?
They're like, let's
I'll
stay.
take as much time as I want with the game because of the buffet at the hotel.
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
hell yeah!
I'm gonna soak up
You know
that
what I'm
buffet.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay, there's probably lobster.
Yeah.
There's probably steak.
Let me
You
let
can
me
have it
decrease
whatever you want.
how much I'm betting due to the shrimp cocktail at the bar.
Yeah, I'm a call there.
Yeah.
I'm a call on this
lose
play.
some hands and lengthen this
Yeah.
thing because of
Why
the
not?
spa
Well-
service at this establishment.
Amazing.
Well, speaking of lost hands.
Yes.
Bond loses
Spoilers.
all his money to Le Chiffre
Come on.
because
because he thinks he's figured out his tell,
Okay.
which is
we already talked about his tell while you were gone.
Yep.
okay, dokie.
So he thinks Le Chiffre's bluffing again.
Yeah.
So he goes all in with Le Chiffre because he knows he's like, oh, I'm gonna win. I have the
this
hand.
is it.
Yeah.
But
I
then
fucking got him.
Le
Got him.
Chiffre, the
Got
fucking
him.
river turns. Le Chiffre wins, and he knows Le Chiffre played him. He was like,
Right.
he purposely made his tell that so that he would think that was his tell.
That seems way too easy.
Bond
right?
loses all the money. Yeah, so he loses.
He's pissed.
Now we didn't tell you, we
Yeah.
didn't say this, but so there's a $10 million buy-in and a $5 million buyback. So somewhat.
What
So
does
if
that
you
mean?
lose, you can
Yeah,
buy
if
back
you
into the
lose.
game. You can buy back
Okay.
into the game for
Okay.
$5 million.
$5
Yeah.
Okay.
So he goes up to
Wow.
Vesper and he's like, I know I made a mistake, but I won't. I'm the only man who can beat this. I need the money, Vesper, because she represents the treasury.
Right.
She's
Right.
like, nope,
Right.
you're not getting that
Really?
money.
Did we go over the drink?
So
Yes, we
she's
did.
just
Because this is the
hold on
point
a
where
second.
No, the point already happened. That point already
Yeah,
So
okay.
so she
I was making a different
so
drink.
she's allowing him now then to just fund the terrorists. Basically, she's just like
no, she doesn't.
I-
She's just like, fuck you.
Yeah,
You're
she's
not
like,
getting
what are they
any
gonna
more
do?
money.
you can't risk any more money.
So what are they gonna do? Why would
Well,
she?
we-
She can't make that
So
call.
he's pissed. So he goes back up to the main bar
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, I lost. And then he sees Le Chiffre, like she's shaking hands with people. He's like, he's doing his rounds,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Yeah.
he
As a
orders a
famous
drink.
person.
This is the line that I think you're thinking of, Zach. He orders a drink. He orders a dry martini, right? He just orders. What does he order exactly?
Three measures of Gordon's, one of vodka.
No, not the Vesper. He just
what?
orders a drink, like a dry martini at the bar when he's angry.
Yeah. He's
And
like,
the guy goes,
the guy's like shaken or stirred, and he's like, "Does it look like I fucking give a
Do I
damn?"
look like I
He
give a
doesn't say
damn?
fucking,
Yeah.
but you know, it's implied.
yeah. It's a nice little throwback to that line, and they're like, "Fuck
God,
you."
I'm spilling my drink
Yeah.
Yeah,
everywhere.
we know you are. You
Yeah,
fucking
we-
drunk fuck.
You fucking drunk.
So
This is really
yes.
good. It's called a Lucien Gardet. If
We
you want to
know.
look it up for our fans of haven't seen it.
Yeah, not
So
your
he,
fans.
he sees Le Chiffre in the main area of the casino, and he's all
Yeah.
pissed off because he thinks he's going to lose now. Like James Bond's not going to finish his mission, so he grabs like a knife off the bar.
Oh,
And
fucking
is
knife!
walking towards him, following him, and then who stops
Fucking
him?
following him.
But Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Who's
Who
one
is
of
this?
he's
Jake.
the other player. He's the
Jimmy and E.
American player in the table.
Oh, okay, right.
And he's all like,
Surprise, motherfucker.
he's like, that was
He's
a hard
like-
hand, brother.
He's
And then
like, I'm from the CIA.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
oh,
friends.
hell yeah.
But we got a
I'm
bit more
bleeding
money than
chips.
you, bucko.
I'm bleeding
So
chips,
I'm bleeding
so-
chips. You
Yeah.
want me to spot you? I'll spot you.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm bleeding chips.
Hell yeah.
So back
He's like,
up
I'm
because
bleeding
y'all
chips,
fucking
I got
talking.
on the
stabbed.
condition, on the
Okay,
condition.
shut
Out
up.
of my
Stop.
gut.
Stop. Y'all are talking at the same motherfucking time, and I'm not able to stay on track with
Okay.
what you're saying.
So,
So
what he says is,
let me talk. So this guy who's playing the American is actually a CIA agent, and he recognizes that
Mhm.
Bond is
We're to
also an
believe this.
agent. So he gives
Yeah,
him the
correct.
hand, the money, so that he can go back in.
yes,
Okay,
But-
now
but
he
on
has
the
conditions. Go ahead.
on the condition, he's like, I'm CIA. I'll spot you the money if we can
No,
take
he's
him
not
in.
CAA.
So that. Yes, CIA.
He's
So
like,
he's like,
I'll
so he's
change your
like,
tire.
so
on the
we're gonna
condition
clean
that
him out
you
from all of his
don't-
money,
I don't
and
give
then
you any air
he's
miles.
gonna break down outside of Montenegro, and we're gonna spot his
Yeah.
car
We're going to
repair.
get a yearly fee out of him. All right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
fucking.
So what are his
nefarious.
actual conditions? The CIA.
No, the
Literally,
CIA
that's
can
it.
bring him in.
that he's
Okay,
the
got you,
CIA
got
bring
you.
him in.
Okay.
Not
If
MI6.
Okay.
Bond, if they spot Bond,
Yeah.
because
They're out of
CIA
money.
guy,
Okay.
he's not very good.
Okay, international espionage. You'd think that like they know that the CIA was also doing the exact same operation that MI6 was doing. They're like,
I mean,
we're
you
doing
wonder.
the
It's
exact
like-
same thing.
It's like, are they in like a
Right.
Slack group together where they're like,
Yeah.
Right.
FYI, Le Chiffre poker game. Meet you there.
Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Bad News Bears.
Teamwork.
It would only make
But
sense.
they clearly didn't know.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
like, there's
And
still
so,
so much of this movie to get through.
Am I
okay.
peeking?
What are we at? Like 45
It's
minutes?
fine.
You're fine.
So
All right.
Oh, we're at
he
2.5 hours.
agrees
Cool.
then, yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he agrees.
All right. Let's
So,
start.
so he stakes him for the new buy-in. And
Yeah.
basically, we get to like the end of the game. Most people have been knocked out. Bond has raised his chip amount by a considerable amount. And we're down to like the last hand. And basically, we've got this the one dude and this
And the
other
other dude.
big dude. And then
Yeah.
Le Chiffre, and then Jeffrey Wright basically like fucking gives up. He's just like, I'm out.
He gets out.
Yeah, he gets out,
Okay.
and then Bond is left. And
Okay.
so the first dude is like, I've got great cards. I'm going all in. Meanwhile, they don't have as many chips.
No, wait. You forgot about a whole thing.
What?
Bond, like it's just a normal hand. They're about to play, and he orders a Vesper again.
Oh yeah.
Another cocktail, and but then you see this is where the slanty hair girl comes in play. She poisons Bond's
Yes,
drink.
I forgot about this whole part.
Entire
Oh, yeah.
20-minute sequence
This
we have to
whole
cover now.
fucking this is
Wow.
20 minutes.
It is a long sequence. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So basically,
I forgot
Bond
about
gets
that.
She drips a little something in his drink.
Mhm.
So she like the guy brings it to Bond,
Yeah.
and he drinks it or whatever, and you think it's a normal hand.
Sure.
And we play it, and he folds or whatever, and he's playing there, and you see him, and he's just like,
He says,
you know,
he's like,
something's not
"Oi,
right. Something's
oi,
not right.
oi,
And he
bruv."
starts, he's like, oi, bruv.
Oh, I feel a bit off. Mum.
she's
Oh,
something's
mum.
a bit something's
A bit
not
gov.
governor.
Not
Not
gov.
governor.
Trolley?
Yeah, no.
All
This
right.
is
So
off
he's
trolley.
feeling weird.
Yeah.
He can
like, I'm
sense
gonna
it.
And so
Yeah,
he's
fucking
like,
pass.
okay, so, and he's like, deal me out to the card.
The card dealer, man.
Yeah.
Dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the dealer's like, but sir, you're big blind, and so he's like
He
quickly
pays some
he
money
tries to
to
like
take care of
gives
the
him some money. He's like fucking
financial
deal
aspect
with it,
of the
and he
game.
Sure.
leaves, and then immediately the frame goes to like it's like crazy, and he's in the washroom, and he's like he grabs a thing of salt.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And a
Dutch
cup.
angles, blurry.
Oh
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, with the visual aspect of
gets me.
Ryan
Will
and the
gets me.
fucking audio from Zach, I feel like I'm going through it as
Am
well.
I peeking?
I'm
No,
crashing
you're
your
just-
channels
you're just
using
slurred
my
as fuck.
Webcam.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He gets very sweaty.
So
he drinks
yeah,
salt
so no, he
water,
goes to he
his
rushes to the washroom.
car.
One at
No,
a
no,
time.
no. He rushes to the washroom. He pours an entire salt shaker into a glass of water,
to puke.
and he drinks it, and he tries to puke because he knows
Yeah.
he's been poisoned,
Yeah.
which he has been.
Mhm.
Yes.
He gets to it, so immediately he runs to his car. Is Ryan doing the sign for this? Because this is perfect. Put this on the Insta. So he runs to his car and he
I could skip this scene if we can't get
no
through
no
it.
no no no. This is important.
It's
Well,
ultimately
this is
inconsequential,
important.
is it? I mean, it's about
Yes.
the relationship between him and
Yes.
Vesper.
No, it totally is. It totally is.
Fantastic.
But no, he pokes a thingy into his arm. He pokes a thingy, and it hits that tracker that we saw before.
Okay.
That's the second rule of thirds, people.
Okay.
Yep.
The setup, the reinforcement, and the whatever
Execution.
third one.
Maybe?
Yeah. So the second one, he pokes the thing into his arm, and he and you see like the people at MI6, they're like, oh shit, Bond's in trouble, and they call M, and M's like, what's, hey guys, what's up? And
Oh, you're going through this so slow. Okay.
I'm gonna be fast and I'm gonna be drunk, but I'll be quiet after this. I promise. So M's like, what's going on? And Bud's dying in his car. And he's like,
Oh my God.
I've got a defibrillator. And he's like,
Okay.
oh no! My pop shield!
All right. I'm going to mute Zach for a second.
Cool.
I don't know.
So basically, James Bond gets poisoned. He goes to his car. There's a defibrillator in there. The people in London are talking to him, being like, we're seeing this stuff in your bloodstream. You should stab this thing into your neck and then defibrillate yourself because your heart's going to stop before you pass out. But then he does pass out. But then in the nick of time, Eva Green's character shows up and she defibrillates him and saves his life.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Bond almost dies, but Eva shows up and saves him.
Great.
This is great. Perfect.
Okay, so that was it.
And she's like, you got it. Okay, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, never better. And she's like, you don't think you're going back in there? And he's like, yeah. Why wouldn't I, or something? I don't know. And he goes in.
Yeah, he goes back to the game, even though he just almost died.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then he goes back, and then Shifra is so shocked, and he's like, "Oi, bruv, sorry, that last hand nearly killed me."
Yeah.
That's a great
That's
line.
good.
Mads is so pissed.
He's mad.
Mads is so pissed about this.
Mads is
Mads.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a good shirt. You guys should add that to your podcast
merch,
your pod swag
merch
account.
Yeah.
Mads.
That's good. I'm sure it doesn't exist already. Okay, so he's back in the game.
The last hand.
Yeah.
We're lit the last hand. And basically all the rest of the people like go all in. Everyone's going all in. Le Chiffre is like calls the other guys because he has more money, but then Bond is all like all in, bitch. Le Chiffre is kind of shook at this point too, because he's like, ooh, he was not expecting Bond to go all in. He thinks he has the best hand, but he's like, all right, and he goes in. And everyone plays their cards, and everyone has like a substantially better hand as they go on. So the first guy is like, ooh, I've got a full house of 2s and 7s or whatever. And then the other guy's like, ooh, full house kings and queens, whatever. But then Le Chiffre has, what does Le Chiffre have in that hand? I forget, but he's got some nice hands. He's got
some nice hands.
Some primo hands in that.
Like a hand model.
Scene.
He's got some nice hands.
And then Bond has the best hand. He has 4
straight flush.
No, he has a straight flush. Yes,
straight
that's
flush.
what he has.
Flush, all of one suit.
Which is,
he absolutely slays.
Slays.
He wins. He slays it. He wins. He gets all the chips. He tips the fucking dealer $500,000.
Right.
Because they established the chip scores. You know, there's smaller chips, but then they got these big plate chips, and there's red ones for 500,000, and then blue ones that are $1 million a piece. And he tosses him a red one, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Which makes me think, hey, maybe I should stop my current job and go into dealing cards on
high stakes
Montenegro.
Yes.
In Montenegro.
Yes.
Yeah,
Montenegro.
Zach is
do
back
so
again.
well there.
His sixth entrance.
Water.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, drink some water, please.
Yeah.
We don't want to find out you died tomorrow.
I know. I'm so nervous.
We're doing this on a Sunday night.
I know.
I got nothing tomorrow.
You got nothing tomorrow? Well, I got to work.
So they're all celebrating. They're all like, yay, we won. Vesper and Bond are sitting at dinner. And Bond's like, you know.
Oh, they won.
That
over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, this drink is good. You know what I'll call it? I think I'm going to call this a Vesper.
Oh, cute.
And she's like, why? Because it's
good sex
or
So he's like, because it's
like bitter. It's a bitter aftertaste, she says.
Yeah, because of the bitter aftertaste. And he's
then he says,
because
"No,
It was like,
honey
once
pie."
you drink
Have
it,
one.
it's all you want to drink.
Mhm.
Wow.
Which is sweet.
And honestly, though,
He's a
after having
sweetie.
drinking all of them tonight,
Based on how
I've
smashed you
I
are
had
right now.
2 other drinks. Okay, I had 3 drinks tonight.
Are you sure?
Well, three
think you had
different
10.
drinks.
Yeah, you had
Three
Three
types of
three of
drinks
three of
in
the one
multiple-
different drinks.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
of those 3 drinks that I had,
Vesper
I
was the
preferred
best?
the Vesper.
I don't know.
Oh.
how
The
we
Vesper
added
was
this, but-
it was very good.
Yeah.
In an updated
Version.
ratio.
Yeah, yeah.
Not bonds. If you do,
Not
I'll
bonds
send you
spec.
the
Yeah,
ratio.
not bonds.
Alright.
We know.
But
Can we post that
not
on
bond
socials?
spec, but
Totally,
Death
yeah.
and Co. Death and Co. spec. Very good.
Back to the Vesper.
All right, so they're at dinner. Yeah, what? Yes.
No, I was just gonna say whatever to shut Zach up. Continue.
He's
I'm just
hydrating.
drinking some water.
He's hydrating. So they're at dinner. They're like, I'm going to name it Vesper, bitter aftertaste, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Vesper gets a call or gets a text and is like, oh, it looks like the CIA is taking them in right
Mm.
now as we speak.
Mhm.
And then she gets
Yeah.
a call from Mathis and is like, oh, Mathis needs me. I have to go.
Okay.
And then Bond.
And they're in a restaurant.
yeah, they're in a little restaurant.
which is
Yes.
empty.
Mm-hmm.
But like it
Beautiful.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bond
You
is
know?
sitting there and he just goes, Mathis. He's got like a light bulb in his head. Like there's
It's a
something
light bulb
off.
moment.
He feels
It's
like
an
there's
aha
something
moment.
off.
It's an
Uh-huh,
Oprah
uh-huh.
aha moment.
Yes. So he
Mathis
fucking
is Mr.
runs-
White.
He's like fucking.
No.
He was
it's
like,
not the
no,
same
like
actor, no.
how
Okay.
could
Well, he doesn't know this yet.
how
We don't.
could
He
he have
doesn't.
known about the tell?
Well, he doesn't realize. He doesn't say anything of this yet. But,
Okay.
You know?
So
Yeah.
okay, stop.
But
so
that's
he
kind of what he's
thinks-
clued in.
Yeah, so he thinks something's up with Mathis. What does he think is up with him?
Mathis.
He thinks Mathis is like a double
Mathis is
agent.
up with
Okay,
everything.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, great.
So he runs after Vesper
Right.
and he goes outside and he sees Vesper get pulled into a van
Oh no.
and like taken in a van. So he gets
Yeah.
in his super fast car
Yeah.
and drives. Now this is, remember when I talked about flips?
Yes.
Yeah.
Flips,
This is
the
the
flips
flips.
are a
This
type of
next scene-
cocktail with an egg, a whole
Yeah.
egg in them.
This
Great.
next scene, so the car's driving. He's chasing after this car in the fucking back country hills of Montenegro.
Vesper gets kidnapped.
Yeah, we already
Kidnapped.
reestablished that. Yeah.
It's said that.
Yeah.
Vesper
He's
is what
driving.
he named the drink.
It's nighttime. We see the car headlights and Vesper's on the road tied up and Bond fucking swerves the other way and the car flips in one single take, flips like fucking 23 times or something. It was like
If
the
you watch
Guinness
the
World
behind
record
the
for
scenes
most
thing.
car flips
Yeah, yeah.
in,
Come
in a
on.
stunt.
That's pretty cool.
Honestly,
was,
this
yeah.
whole film was like
Yeah.
Stunt City.
Films a Guinness
Very-
World Record.
Yeah,
it is.
Most Casino Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
very, very Casino
This episode
Royale.
is the Guinness World
No,
record
honestly.
for longest fucking
Longest
podcast episode.
episode.
Drunkest
What are we at?
Zach.
Almost 3 hours.
2.5 hours.
What number will this be?
Okay.
The
Number
40s
40. Number 40.
Oh, that's a nice number.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
even number.
We like
It's a
that.
good number.
So let's do it
Okay.
4 hours.
That's
let's
a
make
good
it 4
age
So-
hours.
where like
no.
I still would.
We
but,
don't
you
know.
All right.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Zach
No,
literally
no.
just said, that's a good age where I still would.
Anyway,
You
Bond is like flipping over in his sweet Aston Martin
Yes.
car.
He gets
And
knocked
then-
out. He gets captured by the
Yeah.
bad guys.
Oh,
They're
no.
dragging
Just
him. He's
before-
dreary.
Just before they bring him to this place, they cut out the tracker in his arm because they know about the
Mm.
tracker somehow.
They know about the tracker.
Right.
More,
Yeah.
Why is that?
More
Foreshadowing.
Mathis
Fuck
problem.
my pop shield.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're hearing
And,
plosives, it's
they
all
bring him to
Zach.
like some weird fucking, I don't know. It's like a steam room or something.
And
It's
you
weird.
Yeah.
know what, guys?
It's a
Here
ship.
is where
They
I
bring him
want,
to a dirty ship.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about the next scene because the method of torture by
Okay.
which they
Oh,
torture
yeah.
James Bond
This is gonna
of
be
great
legendary.
importance.
It
They
is.
cut a hole in a chair. They sit James Bond on the chair with the hole in it.
naked.
What?
Naked,
Fully
fully nude.
naked.
We have a fully
Come
nude
on.
Daniel Craig on a chair with the bottom cut out.
Oh no.
Vesper's taken to
You're
another
right.
room and is
He's right.
screaming in pain.
Okay.
We
Isn't
hear
that-
Vesper in the background.
Just wait.
She's being tortured.
Uh-huh.
Please.
They're in a dirty ship. Dirty ship.
Yes. And
Okay, Mads Mikkelsen, honestly. Okay, you watch every single Bond film.
Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen. No, like he is one of the best Bond villains. You're laughing.
oh, I can't hear
But-
anyone.
No, honestly,
He's a great Bond villain.
He's a great Bond villain, and you see this in this scene because he's desperate.
Mm-hmm.
He's like because he knows he
The
owes.
testicles. We have to talk about how he's being
Okay,
tortured.
no. Spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
We got to reset.
Just tell me. No, okay.
Okay,
So
Ryan
there's
set
a
up the
whole...
scene.
Let's-
Ryan set
Okay,
up the
Yeah.
scene.
Ryan set up the scene.
So we get to the point in the movie that I really want to talk about where Bond has been taken captive. We're in some kind of, I don't know, Zach, did you call it a ship? Are they in a ship? You just spill on yourself? Cool beans. So
You got water
Bond-
all over me.
Bond has been stripped. He's been placed on a chair
Yeah.
that has the bottom cut out. And our villain, Le Chiffre, has
Le
this
Chiffre.
big rope thing, like a thick rope with a big knot on the end. And he starts
Yeah.
just like
Like a whipping
whipping
rope.
this rope. And it took me a while. I don't know about you guys. It took me a while to understand what exact form of torture was happening here. But as I understand it, he is
But it's
absolutely
genius.
whipping the hell out of James Bond's bare testicles. Am I wrong?
Oh,
Literally,
yeah. He
they
is.
cut.
yeah.
What
So there's
the fuck?
like a wooden chair, and one of the henchmen cuts.
Yeah, Ryan
the
just
wicker-
explained this whole thing.
Ryan
We
just
know.
explained
We
it.
see the picture.
Did
But do you agree? This
Yes.
is what's happening, right? He's whipping. He's
Yeah.
whipping his testicles with a rope, with a
Great.
thick rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bond's like screaming. He's
Oh, yeah.
like,
I imagine.
But in ecstasy,
no, well,
ultimately in ecstasy. See, the
Oh.
game here, the
He's
game
enjoying
here
it?
is that Le Chiffre is trying to get the password because Bond has officially won the poker game. The Chiffre
And-
now is trying to get the code out of Bond so that they can
and Le
acquire
Chiffre-
the
right,
winnings.
right.
and Le
right,
Chiffre
yes.
has the account number,
Sure.
Okay.
but he doesn't know the password. So
Right.
he's trying to.
Well,
Yeah,
he
the
does have the
password.
account number. He does say, like, I'm sure I'll be able to get the account number
Sure.
from Miss Lind.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Vesper
Okay.
because
is
he
being
also
tortured and
has
the other-
he also has Vesper,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you hear
Right.
her screaming from
So
like
you
the
have
other
to
room.
imagine
Mhm.
if they're whipping James Bond's testicles, you have
In
to
the
imagine what sort
balls,
of
his testes.
disgusting thing they're doing to her. Eh?
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
totally.
Makes you
But-
wonder.
But
They're pulling one strand of hair from her head every second.
I
Exactly.
was thinking they're probably doing some other weird
however,
sexual.
you'll see,
They're like
you'll see,
they're like flicking her in the ear.
yeah,
Sure.
Exactly.
but just wait, because the movie ain't over yet.
No, baby.
far
Shut-
from it, actually.
This is the point where I looked
Honestly-
at the time
honestly,
code
yeah.
and I was like,
No,
"There's
totally.
40 minutes left. Something must be happening after this."
Okay. Okay. So let's start
So
summarizing.
he's torturing him. He's whipping his balls. But the greatest moment in this, so Bond's not giving up. Bond's like, no, I'm not
Bond's
going to give you information.
completely naked.
Yeah,
and then
we
he
know.
goes, he's like screaming and he's like, and then he goes, and then Le Chiffre's like,
Le Chiffre.
"Just give me the codes.
Mads
and then,
Mikkelsen,
Yeah.
the most intimidating man in the world,
yeah.
Yeah.
says.
Doesn't try to.
Bond
Says,
goes,
give me the code
Bond goes, I've got a little itch
on his ball
down
sack.
there,
Mm,
if you don't mind.
he's talking about his balls.
Yeah.
What?
And then Mads, it's like, well, fucking A. And
He's
he
like, you're a
just
funny
fucking,
man.
"Ugh,
And then he
whack
just keeps
some
whipping
in the
him.
He's
balls."
like daring him to whack him in the balls more, and he does.
Right.
Yeah, and he's all like, to the left. And then he keeps hitting him. And then he just starts laughing hysterically. Bond
What
does.
the
Crazy.
fuck?
And then Le Chiffre is like, you're not going to tell me, are you? And Bond's like, no.
Yeah.
And so he like kicks him over on the chair.
No, not yet.
What?
There's a great line you're missing. This is the greatest line in the movie.
To the left.
No, the greatest line is when Matt's like, you're laughing. And he goes like, yes. He's like, I'll never give you those codes. And everyone's going to know that you died scratching my balls.
And Mads is like, ha, 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 ha. But then kicks him over. And like Bond falls on his back, tied to this chair. And Mads whips out this knife and is like, well, I guess I'm going to cut the mafia.
Your dick off. Yeah.
I'm going to fucking cut your balls off.
What you wanted.
And you've already heard like Vesper scream in the background.
Yeah.
Like she's somewhere else in the ship screaming. Yeah. And so he's about to go cut Bond's fucking balls off.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the door open and somebody walk in.
Well, you hear
like
two guys, you hear gunshots in the other room.
No. You hear a scream. Yeah. And you hear like steady footsteps come up. And you see the guy who was in Uganda, was it?
Yeah, we see Mr.
From the
White.
beginning of the film, Mr. White. From the beginning of the film with a silencer comes up. And LaShifra is like scared shitless.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'll
get you the money,
I'll have
man.
your money. I'll get you the money. I'll have your money. And he was like,
fucking sorry.
Nothing means more to our organization than confidence or
knowing who to trust.
Knowing who to trust. Yes.
So he shoots
and then you hear a
him.
shot from a
LaShifra's
silenced
dead.
pistol.
He shoots
And then
LaShifra.
you see a shot of LaShifra falling down.
He's dead.
And like a bullet wound in the middle of his head.
LaShifra's dead. It's in his head.
Yes.
Right.
And then LaShifra's dead. It's in his head.
Yes.
Dead. It's in his head. LaShifra's dead. It's in his head.
Mads is no longer Mads. He's
Okay.
dead. Now,
Dead.
Bond wakes up in
kinda
a fucking
passes out.
beautiful Montenegro hospital.
No,
beautiful.
that's Italy. That's Italy.
He's
like,
in Italy?
No,
he's in
totally.
Montenegro.
No.
I thought it was Montenegro.
I'm pretty sure he's
pretty
just in
sure.
Montenegro
I'll
still.
check the Wikipedia.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
he wakes up in a hospital.
They're not in
a
Italy.
He wakes
gorgeous
up in a hospital. He wakes up in a hospital.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure.
No,
I'm
it's
pretty
in
sure,
Montenegro,
like,
I'm pretty sure.
It
Guys,
says-
it doesn't really
the
matter what
Wikipedia page
happens
Who's
says-
in
that
the
guy that
hospital.
sings opera?
The Wikipedia page says it doesn't say the location, but it specifies that it is an MI6 hospital.
No.
Interesting. The whole
It
agency
is.
has a
Nice.
whole hospital. The Wikipedia
In
page says
Montenegro
that it's an MI6 hospital. That's all I
or
know.
surrounding territories. Okay,
I'm
so
pretty
he
sure
wakes up
it's
in
a
a hospital.
place.
Croatia.
Okay, what's his name?
Okay, what
What's
happens
that
in
one
the hospital?
opera singer who's blind?
Oh, Andrea.
Bocelli, yes.
He's blind. Is he
No.
blind?
He is.
Is he blind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I think you got it.
Is he newly
He
blind?
did a concert there.
No,
No?
that's cool.
I thought we were
No,
talking
he's
about
not
Ray Charles.
newly blind. No,
Yes,
He-
Rachel.
I think.
Charles. It was before.
Anyways.
After his time.
Guys,
Anyway.
Bond wakes up in a hospital.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
next?
Yeah. So he wakes
An
up in the
MI6
hospital,
hospital.
and he's kind of like coming to, and he sees Vesper, but like an outline of her. He sees Mathis show up behind her, and he's like, no, Mathis, not
Not him,
no.
because he's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then
No,
he's all
bad.
out of
Yeah.
it. But then we kind of cut to him sitting in a wheelchair, and Mathis standing beside him, and they're kind of in mid conversation. He's like, so there's no, like, you don't know any more information. You don't know why they left you alive. Why they didn't kill
Mathis,
you.
you seem like he's trying to like draw
Interrogate
information
him a
out of
bit.
Bond. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but he's still supposed to be like an MI6 agent. And then
Okay.
basically Bond says something like, "Oh, you're trying to help me or help yourself?" And then some
two
MI6
fucking
agents show up
guys come
and
out of
tase him in the
nowhere.
fucking
They
back.
tase him with a
Tase
shotgun.
who?
Tase him. Absolutely
They
tase
tase
him.
Bond.
Mathis.
Tase him to
Mathis.
bits.
Yeah,
The snake
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
turncoat.
Because Bond called them like he's the fucking bad guy. Get him.
Okay.
So that
Gotcha.
happens.
Yes.
And then Bond and Vesper talk, and they're all sitting around like, oh, yeah. And he's all being sexy and cool, even though he's literally probably shitting his pants because he's still in the hospital.
There's
Right.
a lot
Um,
of horniness going on here.
There is a lot of
Yeah.
horniness in the
There's-
last few
okay,
scenes.
Let me recount.
His
let me
bits
recount.
aren't even healed yet, and he's
Let me
there's a lot
recount.
of
Balls
horniness.
are being whipped.
She's like, even if you were blown to bits and the only thing left were your little finger, you'd still be and your smile, you'd still be more man than anyone I've ever known. And he's like, well, that's because you know what my little finger can do. And she's like, why don't you show me?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like, why don't we fuck on this hospital bed? Knock over hospital.
Come on, these are the actual lines that they say.
And it's absolutely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And lovely.
And I frankly won't stand for it.
Then we do see the Swiss guy again. The Swiss guy shows up. He's all like, hello.
The best part, he's like, hello.
This is
Swiss,
literally
honestly,
hello.
you can't blame the Swiss for anything.
He proved to be my favorite
Let's
character in this scene. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
He shows up and he's like, I need to be hurrying along, but we need to transfer the money. So Miss Lind, if you can input the account number.
So polite
and
about
Mr. Bond, if you can input the password. And Bond's like, I think you could do it, Vesper. And she's like,
oh yeah,
what? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, it's Vesper. And she's like, oh, I love you, Bond.
She tears up.
Yeah.
And she's like,
and that's when she says the finger line. Not in front of Swiss guy. He leaves, and then she says the finger guy. Yeah, she says
basically.
That's basically the subtext of it.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Then there's like,
come on,
the music flourishes happiness. They have sex in the hotel bed. They also have sex on the beach, and they're all hanging
with his whip
and no. Wait. There's a moment where she's like, I haven't got to you. Like, you still have
your
this armor on. This armor on, which like Bond, like, historically has like, he uses women. He like uses them as objects. And this was this moment where, like, he was vulnerable and he was like, nah, like, I don't have any armor left. You've stripped it all from me.
Right.
And you see Bond in love, which I'm thankful that Ryan's doing the sign language interpretation of it. But
I'm so glad.
I can assure you that's not what he's doing.
Well, if you saw the video, anyway.
So they're in love. Bond's like, ooh la la, love you.
He's covered in sand.
One thing we never mentioned
on the beach, and it's beautiful.
One thing we never mentioned, and this is important now, is that Vesper wears this necklace like the whole movie, and Bond makes a comment about it.
It's a Lithuanian love knot,
and he kind of gets it. And it's like something that someone she loved gave her, and we kind of the way that's inferred is that this man no longer is alive, like he's not around. But it's something that she was given by her lover.
Right.
Anyway, now Bond fucking writes an email to M and basically resigns from MI6.
He's on a boat with Vesper. They're going
in Venice
on
now.
A cruise of the Italies.
He's in love. He's ready to move on.
Yeah, they're going on vacation.
He's like, fuck this killing people shit.
They're having a good time in the canals. They're having sex in a hotel.
Right.
And then
why not?
They're getting up,
why not?
And basically Vesper's like okay, well let me go. I'll go get some more money out of our accounts. Like, I don't know, they have money in their accounts and they're gonna go. And she like texts her boss
after having coitus.
Yeah.
Right.
She gets a text and she's like, he's like, not too much time off from the treasury. See you in 1 month. Send, because they're going on vacation.
Yeah.
So she leaves to go get some money out so that they can keep, and
he's going to get
around.
groceries.
Yeah, and he's going to go get supplies, but he gets a call from M. He gets a call from M, and she's like, I got your email. We'll talk about that later.
No, she doesn't say that. She says, I got your email.
Okay. She says we'll talk about it later, basically.
I was trying to do it in an accent.
Yeah, no, we get it.
You need to understand, Zach, this is an audio medium. You can't pause the way you normally do in real life.
Well, then why did you get me drunk?
We didn't.
You got yourself drunk, sir.
You made so many drinks.
Within, I would say 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even-
Anyway, M phones, and is like, there's a lovely man from the treasury here wondering when you're going to deposit their money.
Hmm.
And he's like, what? It should already have happened. Well, I'll make sure that's sorted out right away.
Oh, no.
So it turns out whatever the account number Vesper put in to the
Yeah.
Swiss guy was not the treasury's. It was some separate account. Vesper is
What?
suspect.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
woman
I'm
that he
confused.
Because
loves.
Love.
hold on,
Spent
this is
months
key to the sequel
courting.
though. He
is.
thought it was Mathis, so
Mhm.
he had him prosecuted.
right.
But
Right.
turns out it was Vesper.
It's Vespa.
Continue.
Yes. So he goes after Vesper. He follows her. Vesper is like sneaking around carrying a suitcase full of money. He follows
And there's
her.
a dude
There's a dude with an eye patch.
with glasses, but one of them is
Glasses.
black.
Monocle.
And you
Blacked out
can't
eye.
trust a guy with glasses that is black.
Sure.
Yeah, you can't
Go
trust
on.
them. And
Go
he follows
on.
her, and basically a gunfight ensues. Like she's about to make a deal with this guy. He
Oh,
takes
no.
her hostage. They run away, and he has a
Yeah.
gunfight. And they get into this like
fucking
house
Ryan.
that's under construction,
Oh,
like a Venice
yeah.
house on the canal, and it's
You
all being
can't see it right now, but
held
there's a
up by big,
construction house
Yeah,
that's being attacked. But Ryan is doing the iris, doing
Yes.
the gun.
yeah. We
the
don't
gunshot
have to
thing.
describe what's happening on the
Oh,
Zoom
but
call.
if you saw it, it would make so much more sense.
Okay,
All right.
Oh.
So a gunfight happens.
gunfight ensues in this house that's being basically floated on a bunch of airbags. It's being under renos, right? And these airbags are
Because
keeping it
it's in
afloat because
Venice.
it's in Venice. Everything's on the
yeah,
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so bunch of those go off because people are shooting them. There's a big gunfight. The house is slowly sinking. Again, on one of these long 10 to 15 minute action sequences that it's hard to describe, but basically Bond kills a bunch of guys. He shoots the fucking one-eyed guy with a nail gun right in his eye.
Yeah.
He's like,
And,
right in
and
his
she
eye.
also gets a nail in his back from the same guy. He gets like a
Right.
nail and he pulls it out.
Yeah.
afterwards.
Disgusting.
And then Vesper is in one of those. It's like an old elevators, like the caged
But the
elevators.
building, as
move
the
up and
shootout is happening, the building is like kind of collapsing because they keep
Yeah.
shooting the.
Yep, that was
The
mentioned.
parts
That was
that are
said.
holding it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally. How did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? My pop shield keeps fucking.
Okay,
And
go
then
on.
Vesper is in this elevator. After everyone's dead, though, he goes to like get her out of the elevator, but she locks it on him.
And fucking it kills me
Yeah.
every
The-
time.
The elevator cage like
Mm.
falls into the water. He dives in. He's trying to save her, and she's basically just like, "Don't." It's like she's
I don't
committing
deserve
suicide.
to
She's
be
like,
Right,
saved
right.
because she betrayed him. She knows.
So let me
Mhm.
get
she
this
betrayed
straight.
him.
And
They
Yeah.
make this
Yep.
woman pretty much toxic as all hell.
No,
And then at the end, she's like, they try to make her appear as if she is a victim.
no,
that
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
she's
telling
no.
not
me?
toxic.
No, she's
She's
tough.
very likable and great throughout the whole movie. This moment, we're like, "Oh, what's up with her?" We
His
still don't know
words.
why she's like
Mm.
quote unquote
betraying
bad.
him.
Yeah,
Sure.
we still know
But-
that Bond's in love with her and trying to save her.
Okay.
And basically, it's a horrific scene where we watch her drown almost.
Oh
in real
my
time.
god, this is
Bad.
honestly one of the most horrifying scenes of drowning I've ever seen. Honestly, like you
Yeah.
see her like
Drowned.
she's on. They show everything. They show
Yeah.
her like Bond's trying to pull the thing, and she puts her hands on his hands, and she's like, no. And he's still trying to like pull the thing out, and you see her like, I don't even know how they did this, like CGI wise or whatever, but like Ryan's trying to recreate it, but he's not doing it
He's
justice.
not.
Let's be
He's
honest.
not. He's not trying to recreate it
But-
whatsoever.
But she's like,
I will say,
honestly, you can't
First
see
of
this
all,
in the podcast,
no, you
but
can't.
you gotta watch the film. Let me tell you.
I will.
I mean,
have
just gonna
to.
show this for
bulge out and
Alenka.
she screams, and then she
Yeah.
ends up just drowning
Underwater,
and turns
she
into like
screams
stone,
underwater, and
Yeah.
you see her going like,
Zach mimics what she does.
Yeah. Really gross.
Yeah. And then she floats away. And then
And
just as she dies,
Bond's still trying to grab for her.
but just as she dies, he gets the cage open. So it's like, oh, he almost saved her.
Yeah,
but he
And like she's drowning, and like you see her.
Yeah.
Honestly, I watched it again literally a week ago, and I teared up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's very good. It's
it's very sad.
I'm not gonna lie to you,
and he's emotional while trying to save her.
I'm going to resent this movie so fucking much.
It's so good. Honestly, even though we've told you all about it, you should watch it.
Because I'll tell you why. You know, I might. It's fine. I'll save this later. Is there more to this?
Okay,
movie?
we're almost done. So
Bond
he's like emotionally
fidget spinner, and he's like, "Fuck this girl."
Sure.
You can't describe things that we don't know what happened because
you
we can't
guys,
see it.
Ryan pulled out a fidget spinner. That's why.
You're the drunkest, and Ryan's an instigator, and I'm about ready to have Will just finish the rest of the movie.
I am trying to get this podcast done on a strict schedule. I have to work in the morning.
You, Ryan.
Sure.
All right. Happy reunion, guys. We see Bond trying to save her, like doing life support. Doesn't work. Everything's
wait.
What?
Pause for 1 second.
What?
No, for 1 minute. Hold on. I'm just gonna do a quick search.
This is so much like a big cake meeting. Like nobody knows the fucking pain that we endure daily. Where Zach and Ryan fucking goof off for hours. I have to yell at everybody.
I haven't goofed off. I've just left.
Sure.
Zach would, if there's sort of a big cake meeting, Zach would still be in the shower.
Yeah.
I have a piece of trivia from the IMDb trivia page from this film. Here it is. And according to IMDb, 21 out of 27 people found this piece of trivia interesting. So this is on the higher end of the trivia spectrum for an IMDb trivia section for
I feel so
Casino
bad for
Royale.
Will.
Buckle up, baby.
Let's hear it. I'm on my couch. I haven't left.
I'm
drinking water now, so I'm somewhat sober.
Can I get clearance on this audio channel?
Please
Captain Maximic, you are cleared for spoilers.
This is a trivia section.
Okay.
When Bond is giving CPR to Vesper, he gives up very quickly. If he had any training in CPR, he would know not to give up for a lot longer. And if professional rescuers are expected, he would not give up at all. So that's literally what
you see in the scene.
The trivia says in the trivia section of IMDb's Casino Royale.
Mm-hmm. Great.
You see in the scene though, like he's fuck me.
We're spending way too much on this particular scene.
It's only because I'm burping.
Okay.
He's giving her CPR, but like you see, he gives up very quickly, and he just ends up like kissing her because he loves her.
He does love her. There's no denying that. I'm not going to fight you on that.
And like it's the first you know from watching the movie that it's the first person he's loved.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's traumatizing for him. I'm so sad for him.
After treating women
that sucks.
as objects.
That really sucks. That fucking sucks, man, Zach.
Honestly,
that fucking sucks. Zach,
I tear up every time.
Zach, that fucking sucks. How does the movie end, man?
It ain't over yet.
Well, how does it end? Let's get to that.
This is this is the point where the screen fades to black and we see the words intermission slowly fade across the screen.
Everybody gets to pee.
Everybody, it's like an old-timey theater production.
Of you so I can finish this.
It's like the sound of music.
There's like a ragtime piano that plays.
It's
Like-
much rank time.
All right. That's good. That's enough. Will one of you, are either of you willing to finish the movie? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
not willing. I am
and so-
staunchly
okay,
against.
so
any
I'm not
of this
kidding.
podcast.
Will,
remember earlier?
stop.
Remember early?
Mute Ryan's track then if he's not willing.
Okay.
Zach, you've got one chance left. You want to fuck up for the rest of it? This is your
Nah.
last chance.
No.
You mess up, you're muted. Will's gonna finish it. I'm serious.
No, wait.
This is a big cake meeting, isn't it? Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Are you ready?
I was
So
going to talk
Vespers
about.
died. What next?
Okay. Remember how I said about the book, where the book ended?
Yes.
Have you muted me? Am I still?
No, you're not
No.
muted.
Okay.
Hear you.
Remember
Ryan
where I
isn't
said
muted
where the book ends, where so after Vesper dies, he's on that same boat that they were on, and he's on a call with M, and basically she's saying like, "I told you so," and like it's very somber. It's very somber. And
Ryan,
she
you
says,
have your hand raised. I need you to say what you're going to say.
wait. I got to say this. And she says like, I need you to tell me that you're done with this. And Bond says, of course I'm done with this. The job is done. The bitch is dead. Which, Ryan's spinning a fidget spinner.
That was
those of
one.
you
That
cannot
was
see.
strike 1 and 0.
That was strike
Zach,
one, and
Ryan,
I shall
take it
take
away.
that strike.
What did you want
Ryan's
to say?
turn.
Ryan, don't
No.
cut this.
Zach,
Is it my turn
it's
now?
Ryan's turn.
Yeah.
Zach,
You haven't muted me?
it's Ryan's turn.
Okay. We are competing to finish the
He
plot
stole
of
it
this
with a
film.
fidget spinner.
Shut up,
Let's be.
Zach.
Let's be.
Zach.
It is my
Zach.
time. It is my
Will?
time to finish this.
Mute him. Let Ryan finish.
Mute Zach. Let me finish. I admit that I was not paying close attention to the point at which Zach was at. Can you give me a quick reminder of where he was?
He just said that
She's on the phone
M-
with M. We're about to
yeah.
reveal everything. of
Oh
what
God, I feel like
Vesper
this is
did.
important, and I don't fully remember. Okay. Oh, and this is it. Okay, no. There was Vesper was wearing this necklace throughout the movie,
Yep.
and it had like a knot, and was it Armenian? Is that correct?
Yes.
Armenian love knot.
Zach,
Yeah.
you're
Come
muted.
on.
Shut your dang mouth. There was an Armenian love knot, which is the type of knot that was on her necklace, on Vesper's necklace, and
Ryan.
M reveals that. Yes.
This
Am
is
I
this is
the-
what
Pull
Am
it
I
he's
the-
about
together.
to say.
Come
He's
on.
about to say it.
Come on.
he M reveals that that Vesper had a lover. Was it a husband? Maybe a husband.
A lover.
Okay, sure.
Her husband.
Come on.
They were essentially blackmailing Vesper and saying, like, you help us, you get in with James Bond, and we'll let your lover live.
He was kidnapped
He was kidnapped.
Got
by
you.
Le Chiffre's
But she fell.
organization.
She ended up falling in love with James Bond.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Right.
but this is a point of dialogue that is interesting because M was like, we spend so much time investigating your enemies that we don't spend enough time investigating our friends. And she's basically
Judi
like,
Dench.
the people that we assign you to work with, we don't do a big background
Don't
check on them.
background check. Yeah.
Which is like, come on, you're
It's
fucking
kind of
MI6. Like, pull it together, right?
That's
Like,
true.
sort
Judi
of-
Dench.
It's like
Good
all you had to
point.
do was be like, what's the guy that this girl's been dating, and has he
Right.
given her an Armenian love knot? And it's like, as soon as you see the Armenian love knot, it's like, you know,
Check that shit out. Yeah.
check that
But
shit
honestly,
out. You know?
though, like guys seeing like a necklace on a girl, it's like, yeah, this is a nice
know-
necklace.
right.
Sure.
But like, if
Yeah.
you're in the know and you see an Armenian love knot, you're like, hello.
Yeah. how many Armenian love knots have
You know,
you seen?
game recognized game.
Let's be real.
Man
Yeah.
recognized Armenian love knot. You know, like
Right. Sure.
let's deal with it. You
How
know,
much?
as soon as you see
How
that-
many Armenian love knots have impacted your life?
honestly, God, you know, there isn't a number big enough. I subscribe to a little something where it's like I like to nag women, and it's
Jesus.
I'm so glad that we hung in there, and I didn't cut Ryan.
Hey babe, look at that love knot. You think I can do better?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, how many knots are in that Armenian love knot?
How many Armenian love knots have I given you?
How many knots can I tie?
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
I'm going to finish this off.
For that
I'm going to finish off this movie.
Mute everyone but yourself.
No, I can do it. I can do it.
I will do it.
No,
I will do it up until the
voices.
last line.
I will do the voices.
Oh, and the last can I just spoil the last line? The last line's great.
No.
Okay, go ahead. Will.
No. Let him do the guitar. Okay, wait. So you see Mr. White, the guy from Uganda, who is setting up the whole meeting with Lashifra.
No. We see James Bond check Vesper's phone. Again, no passwords. And she sees a text and it says, for James, Mr. White, and a number. So she gave him Mr. White's number.
No one had
she left him his number
in 2007.
Secretly. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so you see this villa, beautiful villa, and you see a car pull up. And the guy from Uganda, Mr. White, he exits out of his car and he looks at this beautiful Italian backdrop or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I live here. And he goes to turn, and then he gets a call on his cell phone, and he picks it up. He's like, hello? He's like, and you hear Mr. White. And he was like, who is this? And he's like, we need to talk. And then you hear a gunshot, and like he drops to the ground, and like he's like grabbing his leg. It's like, fuck. And he's crawling towards his house because his leg is shot. And then you see Bond pull up. You see Bond walk up with this gun. And fun fact, the suit that he's wearing is the same suit as Sean Connery wore in one of the earlier films.
Nice.
And you hear the song that Ryan is playing on his guitar, his sweet electric guitar. Oh, yeah. And he's like, who are you? As he's crawling up the steps, his legs shot, blood's pouring out, and he's crawling up his head. He's like, who are you?
Yeah.
And you see Bond walk up in the traditional suit. He's got like a
just repeating the same
sweet gun, like assault rifle holding up, and you see him like from below, and he's like, the name's Bond.
Yeah.
James Bond. Boom. Blackout. End of film.
Credits roll.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the first and only time he says that in the movie.
Yes.
James Bond.
Fuck, this has been a fucking ride.
But a good one, right? A good ride, right, Alinka?
I've had a lot of emotions.
Alinka.
Playing the guitar theme from James Bond.
I don't think we've seen
one part.
I don't think we've seen Ryan.
Because no one else here will save you. The arms will betray you.
I think it would be appropriate if we went through all of the James Bond themes from the 60s to now.
That is a whole episode unto itself.
No episode.
There is the sky fall. I will the sky view.
With this.
Okay, I've muted them, Alinka.
It's funny because it's actually, thank you. It's funny because I think what's happened here is that both of them now live by themselves, and they just have not had.
Skyfall. There is the skyfall.
How did that happen?
We'll let the sky fall.
Okay.
They can unmute themselves.
Oh, damn. All right. So
well, I want to say how many horse girls do you give this movie?
Ew. Okay.
Can we brainstorm rating systems?
Yeah.
Sure, actually,
Honestly,
can I pick
though,
which rating
horse
system here? That was
girls.
just wait, stop. So Will offered his horse girl rating system. Ryan, what's your offer on the table here? And I will choose my favorite.
Bond smiles.
I said
like,
Ryan.
Smiles.
Zach, I said Ryan. You're
Really asked for
immediately
me.
fucking
All right.
disqualified.
I didn't hear you. Go for it.
My suggestion
Ryan.
is villain's girlfriend's swoop haircuts out of 5.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Swoop
Okay.
haircuts.
It's good. Zach.
I'm gonna go with Bond. How many bonds?
How many
How
bail
many
bonds?
bonds there are out of 5?
Covalent bonds.
But like bonds.
Zach, I don't think any of us are quite on the same page as you.
Bonds.
Do we all have the power to mute each other? Oh no, just you do. Will.
So
I'm trying to click the mute button on Zach, but it's not working.
No. Like you think of bonds,
Yeah.
and then you think of
Oh, okay, you muted him, yeah.
What's that, Zach? I can't hear you. Can't hear you at all.
Oh, he's being muted. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's amazing.
This is cool.
So yeah, no, I like Ryan's rating system best. That was good.
Thank you.
Zach's, I will say though, my own rating system is how many of Zach's bulging eyes in offense do I rate every time he gets muted?
Every time
muted?
he leaves for half an hour to make a drink. This
You
is
were
a
muted.
long podcast.
Half an hour?
It's honestly over 20 minutes at least for one of them. For
Honestly,
sure.
I'm making drinks that are true to the Bond franchise.
Just get a bottle of straight alcohol like me and you'll be
fuck
fine.
is Sambuca to the Bond
It tastes
franchise?
like black
Come
licorice.
on.
It's delicious.
Oh
It's
man,
like,
you guys!
like black licorice.
Guys-
It's like Bond doesn't like fucking.
Can you meet him? How many? Will this be a two-parter? Are we automatically qualified for a two-parter once we get over 2 hours? That's great. Honestly, I get 2 Google alerts for that, so that's great.
That's amazing.
Okay, Ryan, we're gonna do this quickly. Ryan, where can people find you? What do you want people to find you on? Do you want them to download your app?
I don't want people to find me in general. I do want people to download my app. I'm an app developer by day, so I have an app that's called Excerpt. And if you're the kind of person that reads physical books and underlines them or highlights them or leaves little sticky notes, then I have an app that's called Excerpt. It's EXCERPT. The book highlighter, it's only available on the iOS store, and you can use your camera to easily capture text from the books that you're reading, and you can organize the quotes from the books and leave notes and organize them by page number and export them into files if you're a student or if you're in a book club. It's a great iOS app that I made, and if you can leave a review in the iTunes store, that would be great. But otherwise, just download the app, and thank you so much. And I sometimes do improv around Toronto, and now it's all online for now, but I do it with the Assembly and sometimes with Bad Dog Theater and do improv comedy in the world. Thank you.
That was
Great.
the most
That's awesome,
like
Ryan.
it sounded like we gave a 5-year-old like the mic and we're like, what do you want to say thank you for this Christmas? And that is like
And
what we
now-
got.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Zach, I am going to unmute you soon. So I want to say thank you so much for all your musical work that you've done for Haven't Seen It. And now if you can tell us where people can find you and where they can follow you on and where they can find your stuff. I'm going to unmute you now in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening. Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. My name is Zachary Parsons, and you can find me at ZachParsonsMusic.com. That's a lie. I meant Instagram. I don't have a website. Domain names are far too expensive for me. But Ryan, I was wondering, I downloaded your app. Does it help if you do like a funny review of it? If it's 5 stars, or does that not help?
Hi, this is Ryan again.
This is Ryan.
I prefer an earnest review. Just like a simple review and rating where you just say like this is a good app would be great. So funny in it, you can leave behind any jokes on the iOS App Store.
It was like a cross between a funny and a sincere
cool
review.
Yep. Are you telling me that
be cool?
Have you left me a review of my app?
Not yet. I was going to.
Okay.
And I left it on my iPad.
Sure.
But then a few days later, I went back to submit it.
Okay.
And it had cleared the memory.
I mean, it's just a text submission. I don't know why you needed to do this over a few days. No, if you could just be like, this is a helpful app.
I was nervous because it was like a half funny, half sincere.
No, just all sincere.
Like review.
You know what? Honestly, like if you don't use the app, like then you don't have to review it. I just want people to like use the app that I made. And if they found it great, then they can leave a great review. But if you're having to like...
Honestly, yeah, I don't use it at all. But I went through it, and it was well made. It was well like I don't use my iPad that much, and it's only for iPhone or iPad.
Well, it's so if you download it for iPad, it'll be scaled down to the size of an iPhone screen.
Yes, and I took that into account.
Right, it's
and
iOS.
It's still a very well made app.
Thank you,
and I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but I wanted to leave a funny review because, you know, we do funny things together.
Right. No, we're in a sketch group. All the 4 of us are in a sketch group that's called Big Cake. If you look us up on YouTube, we have 2 seasons
Big Cake Comedy.
Yeah, right.
And Instagram.
Look us up on Instagram. We have the 4 of us have funny videos that we've made in the past, and there's more coming. But no, like you don't need to be funny. For me, honestly, like I've made this app with earnestness, and I just would love a great, honest review from someone that's used it and found it useful for what it's meant for, which is for capturing notes from books that they're reading. So,
so I definitely shouldn't leave that review that I was going to do.
I mean, I love you to read any review that's 5 stars is welcome for me.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay,
go check it out, folks.
Thanks.
Of listening.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely check out Ryan's app and check out Haven't Seen a Podcast at Haven't Seen a Podcast on Instagram and Facebook and at haven't_seen_it on Twitter. You can also go to our website. We have the entire list of movies Linka hasn't seen, as well as all the episodes and pictures and all whatnots on there. And yeah, leave us a review as well. When you're leaving Ryan a review, scroll on over to the iTunes podcast section and leave us a review. And then even mention Ryan in that review if you want. That'd be kind of fun.
In the review for my app.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah. And also check out Big Cake Comedy.
I would also just like to take the stage for a moment because sure, this is surely over 3 hours of podcast, and anyone that's made it this far, tip of the hat to them. But I began this podcast by saying that like this is my chance to prove that I can be a competent podcast guest, and
that's because you haven't been drinking.
The first
Oh, yes, he has.
Can you see what's...
You've had like 2 drinks. I've had like 4 drinks.
Your drinks have been over in 2 the other room. My drinks have been liquor on the table that I'm sitting at. Just because you have to leave the room doesn't mean that I'm not. The point is that
doesn't make quality drinks.
The point. Can you mute Zach again? The point is that I came into this podcast with the goal,
a mission,
of telling people out there that I'm a good podcast guest. I've been asked back. I'm a repeat one of the first like 5 to 10 repeat guests of the Haven't Seen It podcast. I'm good. I haven't burped into the mic a single time, and I've been sure of that. I have been confident that I have not burped directly into the mic once this entire podcast. And I promise, if you
I'm also a repeat.
I am speaking. If you
it's like Maury
ask me to be a guest on your podcast, I promise that I will be well researched. I will be intelligent. I will make witty jokes that are of the time, that are not in bad taste. I will have multiple. If you look, the participants of this podcast can be can confirm that I have multiple screens. I have multiple screens. While I am doing this podcast, I am researching the information of the podcast. I am on Wikipedia constantly. If you're listening to this, I will be a great podcast guest. Look me up. I'll be tagged in the social media info of this post. Episode 40 of Haven't Seen a Podcast. What's the movie we watch? Casino Royale. Ryan Maximic, find me on the socials, and I have nothing to do. It's a pandemic. I'm gonna buy a good microphone.
We can tell.
I will be a good podcast guest. That's it. Thank you so much. God bless.
And let me say, am I unmuted?
No, you're still muted, Zach.
Real quick.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciated every minute of that. Guys, just remember, at the end of the day, it's okay to mute your friends. Good night.
And you know what?
No, Ryan, we're done.
And this is
we're not recording
anymore. This is
anymore.
a brain freeze podcast.